So what is going on, guys? I am Black Ops Amazing. Welcome back to another video where today I want to discuss a tweet that the lead game designer at Treyarch, who we know as Kevin Drew, he is in charge of the zombie systems and Outbreak in Black Ops Cold War. He doesn't work on Vanguard zombies, he only worked on Black Ops Cold War zombies, and he's working on the next Treyarch Zombies game in 2023. We all know that lately zombies isn't in the best position, especially Vanguard. I would say the majority of people don't enjoy the zombies mode on this game. Even in Black Ops Cold War, in my opinion, from what I witnessed, it split the community. People were 50-50, some people loved it, some people didn't. And then we go even further back where I think this all started, which was Black Ops 4. Up until then, from World at War to BO3, knowing that Black Ops 3 was the peak of zombies, the community was a pretty happy place. Obviously, no video game community is ever 100% perfect, but it was nice, people got along, most people agreed on things, there weren't too many arguments. And then suddenly, BO4 zombies came out, where things started to go downhill. Then we had Black Ops Cold War, which split the player base even more, and now we have Vanguard, which has just made the whole Call of Duty Zombies situation even worse. I think we can all agree it's definitely not in the best place, but the reason why I'm mentioning this is because, as you would have seen over on Twitter over the past couple of years, every now and again you see a tweet talking about how Call of Duty Zombies has gone downhill. Codename Pizza tweeted this. He said, "Damn, I miss COD Zombies, feeling like it had passion put into it. Like you could physically feel the love, sweat and tears put into projects produced by Jason Blundell, Lee Ross, Cameron Drayton," I don't know about that one, "and even Jimmy Zelensky." I tweeted something similar to this about, I don't know, a year ago. That's what it feels like anyway. I've seen many other people say it as well, mentioning that COD Zombies nowadays doesn't really feel like it has any passion. That's not to say that the developers don't have passion for the game. Of course they do, but lately that's not how it comes across. Obviously there are many different factors. The fact that Vanguard isn't Treyarch's game, they only had 6 months to develop it, it is a small team working on it. Again with Cold War Zombies, that game also originally wasn't Treyarch's, it was Sledgehammer's. I see a theme going on here. Black Ops 4, not failed, but had problems for different reasons. With Cold War and Vanguard Zombies, the major complaints were the lack of content, the lack of them listening to the community in terms of round-based zombies, the lack of Easter eggs, hardly any unique locations. If you compare Der Rise and Draka, Mob of the Dead, Origins, two maps like Duran Fang, Forsaken, those older maps are so much more unique compared to what we've had recently. A lot of what we get nowadays is just taken from the campaign, and that's obvious to see. I would say, and having played it recently, Black Ops 4 only had one major issue for me, and I think if they fixed this, it could have been one of the better games, up there with BO3, and that was the perk system. Having played it a lot recently, I honestly believe if BO4 had the old perk system, or the one in Cold War, it would rival any of the best zombies games we have. So yeah, those have been some of the complaints, and in response to Codename Pizza's tweet, Kevin said, "But for real, we still love making zombies. I hope we can hit on some of the things you think Cold War lacked in the next game." And that to me is very promising because from everything we know, the fact that it is only a small portion of Treyarch's zombies team working on Vanguard, they're not going to be working on zombies this year in COD 2022. So with Treyarch's next game in 2023, that should mean the zombies mode would have had the full 3-year development time, or at least 2 to 3 years, factoring in some of the team working on Vanguard Zombies. So not quite the amount of time or team size they had to work on BO3 or 4 Zombies, but still it's a lot more to work with than what they had with Cold War or Vanguard, which is very promising. And with the lead game designer of Zombies saying that he hopes they can hit some of the things Cold War Zombies lacked in the next game, it sounds like he's listening, and as I'll show you in just a second, he's had a bunch of replies to this tweet, so hopefully he's read them and can take on board some of the feedback as to what people would like to see in their next game. So it does sound exciting, it's just unfortunate that we still have quite a way to go yet. We're not even halfway through Vanguard Zombies, and then of course we've got to go a full year through Infinity Ward's game, but hopefully it'll be worth the wait. Taking a look at what some people said, this person replied, "Cold War lacked good voice acting, not enough infinite damage wonder weapons. Cold War has too many annoying bosses and other things. Just try to make everything from BO3 and put it in the next game." I mean, with a lot of that, I can't disagree. The infinite damage wonder weapons though, I think the Cerberus from Mao the Toten is a very good wonder weapon, that's more than powerful enough. In my opinion, the one we had in D Machine was pretty shitty, but the Crystal Axe in Forsaken is amazing. The Ray K in Firebase C wasn't very good, but I think we had some pretty good wonder weapons in Cold War. I do agree there was a lot of annoying bosses. The Mimics, Tempests were absolutely awful. And the voice acting comment, it's pretty hard to say just because we didn't really have a main cast. I don't think the voice acting was bad, it's definitely better than what we have in Vanguard. This comment said to him, "Can you please bring back the old point system? Or a more refined version of it?" Again, I can't disagree with that. I've gotten used to the point system now in Cold War. I don't really know why they changed it. Another person said, "Cold War hit the right spots in some aspects, but the main downfall, in my opinion, is the operator system. without a crew, not many people are invested in the story. And this is probably the main thing that the next zombies game has to have, 100%. Without a main cast, I thought this in Cold War. Playing Vanguard has only sealed this for me, especially, like I mentioned earlier, having gone back to play a lot of Black Ops 4 and BO3 recently. A main cast is so important because I'm a story person, as you can tell by my channel, but I have absolutely zero interest in Vanguard's story. It's terrible. I was interested in Cold War's story, nowhere near as much as BO4 or 3's, but I think a lot of that really was down to links to the old story. If it was totally fresh and wasn't a continuation after BO4, I don't think I'd be interested in that either, just because a main set cast is so important. Imagine playing a campaign game, but you played as operators. One of the reasons why I play story games is for the person you play as. God of War, Kratos, Red Dead Redemption, Arthur. It is the playable character that makes a story. And so with operators, it takes away so much of that, where it becomes almost lifeless. So yeah, if the next Treyarch Zombies game doesn't have a set cast, the story is going to struggle from the beginning. It's so important, and not only because of the reasons I've just explained, but because you can also tell the storyline through your character. For example, with quotes that the Primus and Ultimus crew said. Because we now have operators, it means in order for Treyarch to tell us the story, they have to give us a lot more intel, and then we end up having a bunch of radios and documents thrown in our face, and it just becomes too much. So yeah, for me, that's probably the most important thing out of anything. There has to be a main set of playable characters, not operators. This person said, in my opinion, Cold War was almost perfect. 3 things: dedicated zombies characters to play as, it was a little too easy, crank up the difficulty, and don't forget about small stuff like Kevin Sherwood Easter egg songs for each map, otherwise they feel a little lifeless. Again, I agree. I've always said I'm not the best zombies player, but I even think Cold War is too easy. Vanguard's also very easy. I would like to see them find a balance between BO3/4 and Cold War/Vanguard in terms of difficulty. Another reply said, something like BO4 Easter eggs, but with Cold War gameplay would be awesome. The Easter eggs in Vanguard or Cold War definitely aren't on the level that we had previously in BO3 or 4, even BO2 you could argue. Another comment reads, just give us the same energy as BO4 with the Cold War perk system and no tiered weapons in the box. Unique map/locations with an interesting unique cast of characters. The maps we have in Vanguard or Cold War, in terms of aesthetics, location, uniqueness, they're nowhere near as interesting as any map in BO4, 3, 2. This person said, Cold War Zombies was great, it just lacked more maps. Toss Outbreak away and focus on round-based, and zombies would be perfect. I personally don't play Outbreak, I know a lot of people did. I have no problem with it as long as it doesn't take away from round-based content. One of the reasons why I was a little bit annoyed with it in Cold War was because in between that massive dry period we had between Firebase C and Mal de Toten, I think it was like 4 or 5 months, probably 4, without a round-based zombies map, yet they were giving us Outbreak maps. It was just a little bit annoying as a round-based player, so I didn't play Outbreak just because I don't like objective style gameplay. That's also the reason why I don't like Vanguard Zombies. However, I don't have a problem with it as long as it doesn't take away from round-based content. So yeah, a lot of good feedback there that hopefully Kevin sees and can implement into their next game. Getting rid of operators and zombies for me is number 1. There has to be a set cast. I would also say, as many of these comments mention, we need more unique map locations, not maps taken from the campaign or multiplayer. We need more unique maps actually fully designed by the zombies team. Look at Horizon Draka, Mob of the Dead, Origins, Zetsubo no Shima, Gorod, even Transit. I also think we need intro cutscenes. That was something that was missing from Cold War. We had ending cutscenes in most cases, besides from D Machine, and even then the ending cutscenes in Cold War weren't brilliant. They were nowhere near the quality of the BO4 or 3 Zombies cutscenes, so we need intro cutscenes and outro cutscenes and also better quality. Also, I'd like to see director cut trailers return. We had them in BO3. I don't think we had any in BO4. I'd love to see more of them because they were awesome. I've already said more Easter eggs. And personally, I'd like to see, because the Dark Ether story is a continuation of the Ether storyline. It does take place after BO4. And so because of that, I'd like to see more links back to the old story. There's no reason why it couldn't happen. We have Eddie or Richtofen and we have Samantha. They tied a few things back in Cold War. I'd just love to see a lot more of that in their next game because, like I said, it's a continuation of the story, and for me that kind of thing is cool. I like seeing how it all ties together. So yeah, there we go. Let me know in the comment section below, do you agree, don't you? And also what other changes would you like to see in Treyarch's next game in 2023? As always, hopefully you've enjoyed. If you have, drop a like rating, make sure you are subscribed to stay up to date with the latest videos on the channel. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Until then, goodbye.